Yo, 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 tell me what you know. Welcome to the Sunshine Show. Woo! You guys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, I have such a special treat for you tonight, this afternoon, this morning, wherever in the world you may roam, because that's right, we are worldwide here on the Sunshine Show. I have the one and only, the most amazing, the most fabulous, the most phenomenal, the most Bowie of them all. I have Dan from Don't Believe in Ghosts, all the way from New York in the building. What's up,
How's it
Dan?
going? Good to see you.
Good
Thanks
to
for
see
having
you.
me.
Yeah, absolutely. How has your day been treating you so far?
Not too bad. Just it's been a pretty busy week, running around like crazy, but yeah, can't complain too much.
Nice. I just woke up from a very nice nap. I'm feeling refreshed and ready to fucking rock and roll. Are you ready to rock and roll with me, Dan?
I'm here. I'm here. I'm ready.
All
I'm
right.
not as well rested as you, but I'm a little jealous, but I'm good.
Hey, that's okay. I'll give you some of my like vibes your way.
Yeah,
All right. All right.
feeling
All right. All right. We're going strong. All right. So, Dan, don't believe in ghosts. You guys are an amazing indie pop band. You guys formed in New York. Um, Tell me a little bit about the history of Don't Believe in Ghosts.
well, it started where Steve, I think, pretty much started this as like a solo project. It was pretty much his thing after a band that he used to have called Man on Earth. I met him. The two of our bands had a lot of the same fan base. We were both from New York, and we played together at a college in Daytona Beach, Florida, actually. And that was the first time, ironically, that we met in person. And shortly thereafter, I guess we just kept in touch, just as you do with this, the circuit of musicians. And I think he needed me to fill in for a pretty big gig that the band had. It was one of their first gigs, and I was a session musician, kind of more so at the time. And so I filled in with him, and then the rest is history. I met with him, and we just had a really great writing dynamic, friendship dynamic. He became one of my best friends. And we really hit it off. And then later on, we had Ken join the band. He's the drummer, and yeah, the rest is history. We've been doing it ever since.
Very nice. I normally ask people to give me a brief introduction, and I completely forgot to do that for you, Dan. So, for the people listening at home who may not know who you are, can you please give us a brief
I'm
introduction?
Dan Delvecchio. I'm the guitar player for Don't Believe in Ghosts and songwriter as well. I
Very
also do I also do backing vocals. I always forget to mention that.
backing vocals, so very important. Very nice. All right, Dan. So, are you still in New York, or where is the band present day?
Yes, we're all in New York. Some of us are in different parts. I'm Long Island. Two of the guys are Queens, and one is from Jersey City, which is basically New York.
Okay, very nice. What does practice look like? Is it pretty easy to get together? Because I hear New York is a really big place.
Yeah, yeah. I think our middle ground spot where we meet for practice is usually Queens. So
Ah, all right, very
that's
nice.
the way.
So, what are you guys working on right now? Are you playing live shows? Is it mostly studio work?
We just finished doing a great live show in New York City at Chelsea Music Hall. It was a sold out show. We did it for our single release for Always Right and our music video release as well. So we're still, really trying to push that. The next thing we have coming up is we're rehearsing to get ready to go into a studio in Jersey to record like live performance videos, right? Live performance recordings. A lot of people haven't really gotten to see those of us, those of you guys who are out of state and sometimes not able to see us, we feel like it's a good way to see what a live show is like. So we have a bunch of new material that we're playing there that we might not release right away, but we're just kind of knocking out a bunch of content, and we're going to be putting it out over the next few months. So we're excited
Very
about that, and that's going to be followed up with some. We are going to be traveling out of state this year quite a lot each month. So we're kind of putting together like a little tour too.
Oh, I love tour life. I also love the studio. Do you have a preference, Dan, between studio or touring?
Um, it's hard to say. I feel like I'm in different modes. I embrace all of it really. But I really do. If I go too long without playing a live show, I kind of get an itch for it, you know. So sometimes I get a little bit antsy and impatient because I want to get out there and play in front of people.
For sure. What does a stage show look like for Don't Believe in Ghosts?
I guess I mean we love to have like segues in between songs, you know, instrumental segues. Steve, to me, I mean, I think he's a great charismatic frontman, so he talks to the crowd a lot. We love to move around. We like to make a show out of it. In the near future, we hope to add things like, you know, like a light show and things like that. But we definitely do have an aesthetic to us, the way we dress. We try to fit, you know, our sound, and we try to make it an experience, you know.
I want to talk a little bit about this aesthetic because there's something that really does it for me about a band that actually gives a fuck about how they are presenting themselves. And not all bands do that, but I see that you guys dress real clean. It looks like you guys might even match your wardrobe. I don't know. Tell me about
Sometimes. Sometimes, yeah, I guess we all kind of consult each other periodically. You know, we'll take new photos and things like that, and a lot of the time, our photo is kind of like our new look, and we follow that, not exactly every time, but we kind of follow that vibe closely, I guess. Whenever we have like a new photos taken, um, I'm not always the expert. You know, we consult. You know, we consult our girlfriends or wives and things like that. You know, and what they feel like is good. A lot of the time, we even look to the music videos. A lot of times, each music video has kind of a different look to it. And between Steve and the camera crew, and you know, the basically the crew for those videos, they help us out a lot of the times with styling.
Nice. I like to call wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, people that we consult in for our wardrobe, our personal fashion assistants. It's very important to have those
Yeah.
PFAs in our life.
Yes,
I believe
absolutely.
in that. All right, Dan, very cool. So let's see here. I see you guys have a lot of videos out on YouTube. It looks like you guys put a lot of work into these videos and these concepts. Who comes up with these ideas, or is it a collective thing?
Yeah, well, that actually, most of that, Steve wears a lot of different hats. You know, he does a lot. I don't even know how he's able to do what he does because it's so much. But he basically is the visionary behind a lot of what we do with the music videos. He'll have. I always joke because he'll have a dream or something. He'll wake up and he goes, "Oh, I got this crazy idea. I dreamt about it," and then he brings it to life. We trust him, you know, 100%. He just kind of gives us the write up of what the concept of the video is and what we're going to be doing, what we're going to be dressing like, and it seems that each video that comes out, we're more and more willing to embarrass ourselves, you know. And so we get a little bit more comfortable with showing our personalities. But I definitely have to credit him. Obviously, like along the way, you know, we come up with some suggestions and things like that too. But a lot of it I have to credit him with.
All right. And Don't Believe in Ghosts. What an amazing name for a band. Can you tell me the story behind that?
It's not really as much of a literal meaning about ghosts as it is about don't not believing in the ghosts of your past. It's not letting your past dictate your future or your present, and it's kind of shutting out negative voices and things like that. So that's my best way of explaining it. But because Steve came up with the name, he'd probably explain it a little better. But that's the gist of it. It's just about not giving energy to negative voices or things that are negative in your past.
I love that. I think a lot of us need to think about that. And it's really hard sometimes to shut that off and to focus on the positive thing that is going on in our lives. So love the meaning behind that. Let's see, we got my beautiful wife in the house. Hello, Lindsay. How you doing tonight, girl? Thanks for hanging out. We got Mama Cantu in the house all the way from South Texas. What's up, Mama? Thanks for hanging out. Everybody, you are here with Sunny C and Dan from Don't Believe in Ghosts. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions for either one of us, drop them there in the chat and I will get to them as soon as possible. All right, Dan, I want to know a little bit about your history in particular. How did you get into music?
It's a long way back. I was only 8 years old when I first played guitar. I picked it up. I think it was my brother. He went to Sam Ash to get a saxophone, and the rest of my family was with him, and I kind of just got lost in the guitar section. It's a pretty cliche thing to say. I mean, the first band or musicians that made me want to play an instrument was the Beatles, and it's pretty fitting because they were pretty much the first big band ever. So that was really for the first 2 years of playing. That's all I would learn is Beatles songs. But obviously that evolved into other things, into a lot of the guitar heroes like Hendrix and Clapton and things like that. And I had amazing guitar teachers. One of who actually got to play with Paul McCartney at the last concert at Shea Stadium, and a bunch of other big stars like that. So I was very fortunate, very lucky to have good mentors, throughout playing. And I started, playing in my first bands in middle school, probably seventh grade. Did all the battle of the band stuff, and it's very hard to find guys throughout middle school, throughout high school. It's that obviously in a perfect world, it would be the Metallica case where it's like you meet your band in high school and that's it, But it's very hard to find guys who are as passionate or as committed to really doing it for real. When I was 18, I made the decision to myself that I wanted to do music for my life, for the rest of my life. So here I am still. I'm still doing it.
All right. Well, I'm loving this story. Especially because you said the Beatles. I have been playing bass for many, many, many years. I have two Rickenbackers in 1974 and 1975. One named Penny Lane Rickenbacker, and the other one is Eleanor Rigby Rickenbacker. I also was interviewing Aaron Collins, former bassist for Murphy's Law, at the beginning of the week, and we also were talking about the Beatles and like the Beatle conspiracy about whether or not Paul
was dead. Yeah.
So we got all into that. Everybody listening, if you did not get to check out that Aaron Collins interview, it is available streaming on all streaming platforms where you find and listen to your podcast. All right, guys. Very cool. What's up, Marty? All the way from Minnesota, hanging out. Hope you're staying warm over there, Marty. Cool. So then you guys met. You became a band. How many albums have you dropped since you guys got together?
It's been mostly singles, but I guess if I say albums, I think it might be either three or four. Our main goal really right now is to just continue dropping singles until we get to a certain point where maybe we might compile those singles together onto an album, maybe with a few extra bonus tracks that people haven't heard before, just so at least they're getting something that they haven't heard yet.
Yeah. All right. So I'm seeing here you guys have only been together since 2020. So you actually
that might be true if you're saying the current lineup, but the band I think might have been together since 2017 or so.
Okay. But it seems you guys formed during a very historic time.
Yes. Yeah.
How did that work out for you guys? Was it sort of a learning process, I'm assuming, trying to figure it out?
Yeah, it was definitely an adjustment. I think it was an adjustment for the entire industry, really, to figure out how to continue pushing and getting music out there. But thank God for social media and all that stuff. With precautions, we still managed to shoot, I think, 2 more music videos and things like that. And we also, during the pandemic, got signed. And that was a big moment for us. We were very excited about it, but it's like, yeah, we finally, we got to this point, but now we're stuck home, and we can't go out and play shows. So it took a little bit to finally get out there and start playing again. But yeah, no, it was definitely an interesting time for sure. We still used also the opportunity to we do this a lot, actually. We sometimes rent out a lake house or just kind of like a getaway spot for us all to get together and convene and write music and record music, record content. And I think we managed to do that during the pandemic as well.
That is a really good way to do it. I think just take a good chunk out of your schedule, get together in a house and film everything
Yeah.
that you can.
Something I just remembered too is while we were at the lake house, we actually put on a big. I mean, it ended up being bigger than we thought it would be. Like a live stream show for a bunch of people. We were able to, set up direct recording to Zoom, and we kind of had like a big party. There was like there could have been close to almost 200 people in there. It was really cool.
Wow, very nice. We got Shauna O'Donnell in the house. How
Let's
you
go.
doing, Shauna? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight on the Sunshine Show. Love Shauna. She is a very sweet and talented
I know her too. Very nice.
hard worker, hard working woman.
Absolutely.
All right. So Dan, what kind of rig are you playing out of? Are you endorsed by anybody?
Yeah, I'm endorsed by PRS Guitars and Ernie Ball Strings. There's a handful of other stuff too, but those are my main ones. And I'm actually playing through for the past 5 or 6 years or so. I've been playing through the Line 6 Helix, and I've been a big advocate for that. I do run around playing a lot of gigs and things like that, so it is very useful, and it's only gotten better over the years. They just released a new patch that kind of redid all the cabs, and everything sounds really, really good. So that's pretty much what I'm been religiously using is the Line 6 Helix, and I would definitely recommend it to anybody.
Now the Line 6 Helix do you plug that straight into the board, or does that actually have like a speaker?
You can do pretty much either option, but what I've been doing is plugging into the board, and it just allows for instance, when we do the live stream show that I told you about, it makes instances like that it's very convenient, and it sounds like a perfectly recorded guitar every time. So we do that, and we do an in-ear monitor system and everything, and it works out really nicely.
And it saves on it saves on space, obviously, and having to like
Yeah,
move a bunch of equipment. So that's just
yeah,
genius. I remember when the
yeah.
lines first came out years and years and years ago, and it was so revolutionary. So I can't even imagine how it's evolved since then.
Yeah, and it's a really great way for me to try to listen to the album guitars and really sit with it and dial in the tones and try to replicate exactly what's on the recordings. And with a push of a button, you can turn on and turn off whatever you want. It's great.
Nice. All right. How do you feel about concept albums?
I think they're great. I mean, I'm not a fan of them. I just I know a few people, a few of my friends who are very much into that stuff. But I think it's really cool. I think there should be more of them now. I feel like it's something that's a little more rare to come by these days because everyone's just trying to pump out stuff as quick as they can. In today's social media world, there's a lot of noise, but I think it's really cool when you do see a concept album now.
I feel like with a name like Don't Believe in Ghosts, I see a manifestation of a concept album sometime in the future. Perhaps it comes with a comic book and like a whole like amazing vinyl. And
Actually, yeah, I mean that I feel like that really is up our alley, especially like Steve, who has such an artistic brain and comes up with these concepts for music videos and things like that. I think that would be right up his alley. I think maybe we feel like we might not be at the point where we can do something like that, but maybe you never say never. I think it could. I think it's a great idea. I'll definitely pitch that to him.
yeah, absolutely. What about the cover art that you guys use? Is there a particular artist that you work with, or does Steve also do the artwork?
I think he might have done the artwork to give it meaning, but the other albums, I think we kind of just shopped around to different people. It's really up for grabs for anybody. So if anybody feels like they have a really cool idea, to come to us with, we might be able to hire you and do it. So we don't have a set person for that stuff right now. In fact, we're always looking for that, especially for merchandise and t-shirt designs and things like that too.
Sure. Let's talk about the merchandise that you guys have available for sale.
Yeah, we have guitar picks, we have different design t-shirts, we have hoodies. You can get a lot of that stuff. I mean, if you go to don'tbelieveinghosts.com, you can definitely go to the merch tab and see all that stuff there. And yeah, that's I think we're in the process of also setting up a Shopify page too. So we're definitely working on that too. And our merch is always sold at our shows. So we also have the physical albums. One of the links I think you might see on our website is we have a bunch of stuff on Amazon, so you can check it out there.
That's what I was just looking at right now. I'm looking at the design. Don't believe in ghosts with the little girl levitating over the bed. And it reminds me a lot of like the old comic book looking.
Yeah, that's what we were going for that one. That was actually like, it's a little bit of an older design, but it's one that we still sell a good amount of them because people really like that one.
It is super cool. It's great that you guys have an Amazon store as well, because I've been trying to get approved for Amazon. I sell my merch on Etsy right now, but that is awesome. Congratulations on getting that, because it's not always the easiest to be able to get an Amazon shop. Very cool. Thank you, Dawn, for dropping that link in the comment section. If you guys are not already following Don't Believe in Ghosts, make sure to do that today. Make sure to go check out their website, go buy the merch, go push follow, subscribe, all the things. Dan, what is it like being a signed band now versus what it was like when you guys weren't signed? Is there a huge difference?
I mean, it's not a huge difference. A lot of the work, we're still putting in all the same work. Labels are not really the thing to rely on to like really push a band necessarily to the next level all the time. It's they want to see that you're going to continue to work hard, and as we continue to work hard, that gives them a little bit more of an incentive, I think, to help us out. Only just recently, again, the pandemic really slowed things down, but we did have the label owner come to our last show, and it was a great show. We got great feedback from him, so we're really excited about that, and that might further help build our relationship with him in the near future. So I think we're only still just getting started with it, because like I said, the pandemic slowed things down for everybody, but I think we're headed in a great direction with them now.
I'm reading a little bit of your accomplishments here on your website, and it looks like you guys are on multiple TV shows. You guys are like having over 2 million plays on retail radio. It looks like you guys are really kicking ass, featured in all kinds of press and magazine. I mean, what does it feel like to be in a band that is being listened and played by so many people? It must feel fantastic.
It's really cool. I don't always, the funny thing is that I don't always feel it until, maybe sometimes I'll get a phone call or a text like, hey, we hear your music playing in the store, or like someone who I know is from out of state who tells me, hey, I hear your song playing over here. So that's definitely really cool. And it's funny because while you're doing it, it's definitely really exciting, but in order to survive, you have to always just keep looking forward. It's like, this is great. This thing happened. That's great. But what's next? And because you need that thing that happens next just to keep you alive, and if there's too much of a lull, it's like you feel like you're kind of falling off. So there's always like it feels like a constant struggle until all of a sudden, someone like you will tell me, hey, you guys have done this. And it's like you look back and you see how far you swam from shore. And sometimes it's good to have that perspective to say, oh wow, we did actually do more than we thought. Yeah, recently that TV show, We Crashed on Apple, that was probably our biggest thing. That was a pretty surreal experience, and a really great opportunity. And out of all the placements we've had, that's probably the biggest one. And we actually got to make a cameo in the show, so we did a whole day of shooting.
What? Oh my God! Tell me about this. This sounds super exciting.
It was a festival scene. I can tell you, it's episode 3 is the one that we're in. But yeah, it's just a festival scene, kind of like a montage kind of scene, where you can see us playing on stage for a brief little bit, and then a little bit later in the episode, you maybe a few minutes after that, you do hear our song being played in the background too, and we were featured in the soundtrack. So that was it was a whole day of shooting, and it's funny because it's like an entire day dedicated to one scene, and we're like the focal point of the scene. But even with all that, we might have made it into there just like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, but it's still really cool. And I did get some phone calls from friends saying, hey, whoa, I think I saw you on stage or something, So it was a really cool experience, and we got to we didn't get to talk to her, but we did see Anne Hathaway, on stage with us for a brief moment when she was going over her line. So that was pretty cool too.
Wow, y'all are like real rock stars, Dan.
Yeah, no, it was a cool feeling too, because we saw that our song was even mentioned in the script, that it was specifically. A lot of the times you do things like this, you don't know what's the result is going to be. You don't know if your song's going to make it in or not. But it was a really cool time, really cool experience, and it ended up being better than what we thought.
So did you guys all have like a viewing party at Steven's house with the whole family?
No, we didn't. I guess we had to wait a little bit for it to finally air, and I guess I don't know when I found out. I mean, maybe I did know a little bit in advance, but no, we didn't. We didn't do that. We kind of just all watched from our home. I couldn't really wait. I wasn't patient. The other guys watched the everything in order, but I just skipped right to episode 3 because I knew I was going to be in there, and I watched it. And it was cool to see me in high def on my own TV. It was pretty cool.
Is it a good TV show? Would you recommend it to the masses?
Definitely.
All right, very nice. Wow. So you say we're always looking for the next thing. We're always pushing ourselves. So what's the next big thing for Don't Believe in Ghosts?
Well, right now we're sitting on probably 6 or 7 solid singles that we know we definitely want to release. We're finalizing those. Our most recent single that we're going to put out next is right now being produced by, mixed by Mark Needham, who's done a lot of bands, including The Killers. And we just got back the final mix. We're going to get the master very soon. I'm really excited about it. And yeah, over the next few months, we're going to be kind of putting these out consistently. We're working on that. We're working on the live recordings in that studio in Jersey that I told you about. And we're working on finishing to put together this tour that we're doing this year. We're going to be probably away for maybe a little more than a week at a time. I'm definitely forgetting some places, but we're going to be visiting Chicago, Philly, obviously New York City. We're going to be doing Cleveland, Ohio. We are going to be doing a week in Nashville at some point this year, and we might be doing the West Coast in LA, and more to be announced. So, we don't have all of them officially announced on our website yet because we're still locking down all the details, but just within the coming weeks or month or so, we're going to be putting those up.
Very nice. You guys should come to Santa Cruz and tell your girl what's up.
Absolutely.
I'm probably about 7 hours from LA, so I could probably make the drive. But you guys should play up in San Francisco too. That'd be a lot of fun.
We were thinking of not in San Francisco, but we were looking at the Whiskey A Go Go. So I've never actually played there. I know it's a legendary place, so I would be excited to play there. Yes. But yeah, I'll let them know about San Francisco too. If you got some people that who would love to come down.
Whiskey A Go Go is a popular spot. I've had quite a few people on the show that play quite often there, and so it's highly recommended is what I hear. So that is really cool. Do you guys actually book your own shows, or do you have management to do that for you?
This year is when we finally got ourselves a booking agent, so that's what we're working with. We were waiting a long time to do that, but we finally did it, and that's what we're working on with a booking agent this year for the first time.
Very cool. All right. So I have a couple more questions for you. Then we're going to start wrapping this up. You guys are hanging out with Sunny C, host of The Sunshine Show, and Dan from Don't Believe in Ghosts. If you have any last minute questions, comments, drop them there in the comment section and I will get to them. All right, cool. Dan, one question I asked all of my guests: if you could throw a dinner party for any 5 musicians, dead or alive, who would those 5 musicians be, and what would you serve at your dinner party?
Okay, I might start the easier one first. Might be what I'm going to serve because I'm a big foodie.
Okay.
I think my favorite kind of food might be seafood. I love shellfish. I would say lobster and skirt steak. Those are probably my 2. Both of those things together are a dream for me. So that I would definitely serve that. All right. So for the musicians, I'm going to name some dead, maybe some alive. I'm going to say definitely Freddie Mercury is going to be there. Michael Jackson would probably be there.
That's good.
Yeah, so they're all dead. I would probably say, yeah, also dead. Eddie Van Halen would definitely be there.
We do believe in ghosts tonight, Dan.
Yes, we do. I have to say this for the rest of my band because Steve and Alex are such big fans. Prince would be another one, and we got one more. I might have to say, for me, just because I'm a total guitar nerd, I would have to say Steve Vai. I would put him there.
All right, that sounds like quite
So we
the
got one guy
party.
who's alive, you know.
That's not, well, you're alive too, at least. So that means
Yes.
2 people alive, the rest deceased. That's fine. All right, that is good. Has anybody ever told you you kind of look like John Stamos?
Oh my God, that's funny. I've gotten that a few times actually. Oh, it's funny. I never fully saw it, but I have gotten that before.
Oh yeah, it's going on right now.
I'll take it for sure. I didn't actually always do my hair like this either, and it's like kind of new, but now I feel like it's even more so like it probably.
Well, it's working for you. You know, just go with it, Dan. It's great. It's a great look. All right. So, what would you say to my bestie? We got my bestie Amelia all the way from Austin in the house. She's calling you Uncle Jesse over here.
He is a musician too, so it's not too far.
That's true. We got Scott Weiss from Chicago of Underground Roots Clothing Company. If you guys are not already fans of Underground Roots Clothing Company, make sure to go check them out today. Thank you so much for hanging out, Scott. We got Daniel Bayanez, longtime listener and supporter of the Sunshine Show, all the way out of Cali. Let's see. Daniel asks, before having a booking agent, how did you book your tours?
We did that. We did it ourselves. We did an East Coast run. That was pretty much. I mean, I think I would have to credit Steve with that. He's a lot more, I think, experienced because he's been on both sides of the industry. So he's actually booked tours and done radio promotion and playlisting for other artists. So he has a lot of connections to begin with. So he was the one who pretty much did that. Unfortunately, I can't really tell you exactly what he did, who he talked to, how he did it, but that was him.
All right. Do you have like a crazy either tour or stage story that you can share with us?
I guess I would say, honestly, I mean, really just like a lot of pranks. Steve is a very big prankster, you know, he likes to play pranks on people. I do remember at one point he had people, he called the hotel that we were staying at, and I guess we had the rooms divided. You know, there was me and I think Steve in one room, and then Alex and Ken in another. And he called the front desk just to wake them up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and said that they wanted pancakes, and he didn't tell them. So just stuff like that. You know, after going out having fun, maybe they were a little bit hungover or something like that. And yeah, he'll do stuff like that all the time. I'm trying to think if I can think of anything crazier. I know we're not that crazy. We're not Motley Crue on the road, you know. We try to, unfortunately, we try to keep it together. We don't have people to keep us in check, so we have to keep ourselves in check, you know.
Okay, so you're not destroying hotel rooms,
No,
sleeping
we're not
with
doing that.
prostitutes, and doing cocaine off of like asses.
No.
Because that's the rock star life, right? That's at least what everybody thinks the rock star life.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a little different now. It's also not the 80s anymore. So it's a little bit different. Maybe guys like maybe the rappers and like Pitbull and guys like that, you know, are doing stuff like that. Or,
yeah. Maybe not. That's also us like judging a book by their cover.
Sure.
What if they actually get back on the tour bus and like read Bible verses to each other? We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. A lot of the times, you know, it's an image thing, and they try to keep that image up, and it's smoke and mirrors. That's another thing about the industry that I've learned is not everything is as it seems. So,
can you expand on that just a little bit?
Well, I guess I'm just thinking of a couple of bands that I know about, big bands. One of them might be Steel Panther, if anyone's heard of them. I mean, their whole thing is it's kind of it's a spoof of the '80s, but like they do it so well that you would think that everything about it, everything they say is actually real, but they're all playing characters. And I just know that all of them wear wigs except for the lead singer. And a lot of them are married and have a pretty chill lifestyle. I think outside of being, the rock star stuff. So that's just an example.
Still, all right, Steel Panther. That sounds like an exciting band, and I kind of want to check them out. Let's see. Donovan says that he at Steel Panther rocks. All right, so Don knows all about Steel Panther. Yeah. Very cool, guys. This episode has been brought to you tonight in part by Sunshine and the Bass Kids, Rocksteady Collective, and Bass Players United. Let me take just a second to tell you some of the amazing bass players I have coming up for you guys this month, including David Pastorius, Jaco Pastorius' nephew.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Stu Ham coming on the show. I have the great Kaya Hall of Sensi Trells, and I am confirming Peanut of 311. So we are going to have an amazing bass month here on the Sunshine Show. You know what I'm saying? All right, Dan. Let's see. So one last question I have for you, unless somebody else.
Also, I want to add that if I just realized that I left out someone important. If I could have a sixth person at that dinner table, it would be Nuno Betancourt. He's another hero of mine.
Very, very nice. And my pig is now leaving the building. Bye, Winston Diego. I have a 200-pound pig that his closet is my closet's his apartment. So he sleeps.
It's a real pig?
Oh, yeah. He just walked out of the room as soon as you said.
So you have a house pet pig for a house pet.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. That's pretty cool.
Winston Diego Nelson, and then I have this little guy here next to me. This is Tadpole Miles Thelonious Monk.
Oh, wow.
And he's a Mexican hairless, or a Xolos Quintly, and they're an ancient Aztec breed. And they always win Ugliest Dog of the Year contest, but not this dog, because he's handsome.
What's his name?
Tadpole Miles Thelonious Monk.
Oh, so he's got like 4 names. Okay.
Oh, yes, of course. He's very fancy. He must have.
All you got to add is like the third or something at the end,
Well, I normally do. Like Winston Diego Nelson can too to the first power. I do. Yes, me and you were on the same level here.
Okay, good.
Is there, let's see. We got Dilly in the house. What's up, Dilly? Dilly is actually another bass player, and we have Dilly booked, I believe, on the 21st of this month. Thanks for hanging out, Dilly Dank. He says he loves the band name.
Thank you.
You're going to love. Go ahead.
I was going to ask where he's from.
Dilly, are you from Arizona? I believe you are, but correct me if I am wrong. All right, very cool. What else? Is there anything else that we need to talk about before we get going?
Just where you can find us. If you have trouble finding us anywhere, I mean, @mention Don't Believe in Ghosts on Instagram, and it's that mostly on the other socials as well. But if all else fails, you can go to don'tbelieveinghosts.com. It's the one-stop shop for everything, and you can get the merch there. You can find all of our social handles there. And our tour schedule and all that stuff that's going to be coming up soon. So
very, very nice. Thank you, Donovan, for dropping the link there in the comment section. Let's see, one more question from Daniel. Oh, sorry, Don. Let's see. What did you listen to this week that inspired you, Dan?
What did I listen to this week? I actually listened to, it might sound a little random, but I did listen to a new song that was just put out by Andrew Hagar. If I can remember the name of the song, it's Sammy Hagar's son. And I thought it was really cool. Let me see if I can find what the name is. I'll look it up right now.
Very nice. You guys are hanging out with Dan of Don't.
It's called, I think it's called Leave Alone. Really cool tune. I think it's, I mean, you would listen to him and you wouldn't think that it is necessarily, that he would be related, but I thought just on its own, the song and his voice is impressive, and it's not like a derivative at all of his father. So I think it's really cool. I think it's a cool style of rock.
Very nice. What is Don asking? Did you hear the new Extreme track? Did Extreme come out
No.
with a new song?
No, I am a fan, but I did see I didn't hear it, but I did see some articles that popped up, but I haven't gotten a chance to hear it.
Very nice.
I'll definitely check it out though. I didn't know it was out.
The pig's coming back in the room now. Like, check this out. Check it out.
I gotta see him. I don't see him. Oh, he's okay. Yeah, I didn't see like what color. I was expecting to see like a pink pig, but he's
He's
it was a little dark over there, so I couldn't see.
He's got a nice little butt. He's got a nice little booty. That's my baby. That's
Right.
Winston Diego Nelson Cantu to the first power. All right. Very nice, you guys. We're gonna start getting this wrapped up. The last question that I do have for you, Dan.
Sure.
And I quite probably will make this into a real no pressure. Okay. What is the best piece of advice that you can give everybody listening at home, watching the live show? And it doesn't necessarily have to be pertain to music. It could be life advice. Whatever you got.
I think I'll stick to what I know. It'll probably be music. I'm just gonna say, for a long time when I was creating music, I was writing for other people. But I think that when you start to write a little bit more for yourself, meaning that something that you're passionate about, not something that you just think is going to sell, you have to stick to your vision. And really, if you stick to your vision and you believe in it enough, I think that has more of a potential to become something that actually is popular or liked by more people. So I think that if you try too hard to be like everything else that's already out, you're already going to be left too far behind, and somebody's going to put up a new flag somewhere else, and then everyone's going to follow that person. You have to be the person to put up the flag and start a new trend.
I like it. Yes. Very nice, Dan. Thank you so very much. Let's see. Dilly says, oh my God, the pig in the closet is a total vibe. It's true. He is a total vibe. He's also a national treasure. If you guys are not following Winston Diego Nelson Cantu to the First Power on Instagram, go do it today at Pleasure Point Pig. It's not porn, it's pork, everybody. Okay.
Okay. Pork.
Pleasure Point Pig, and that is because I live in Pleasure Point in Santa Cruz. Okay. That is why he is called the Pleasure Point Pig. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Make sure to go follow Don't Believe in Ghosts. Go check them out. If they're coming to a town near you, go support these guys. They're doing a lot of hard work, putting their souls and energy out there, providing you music that comes straight from their soul. So go appreciate that. Let's see. Tomorrow I am off, you guys. Wow, it has been a long week, but I will be back on Monday with Cooley Ranks of the Pilfers, also from New York. Love me some Cooley Ranks. All right, guys. So until next time, make sure to stay kind to everybody around you. You never know the battles that people are facing. Try to keep a smile on your face and be safe out there. It's a dangerous fucking world, you guys. I'll say it one more time. Be safe. It's a dangerous fucking world. All right, Dan, on 3, we're going to say bye. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Bye.